Yeah, Chris and Joe here. We've been watching Explaining Computers, and we watched this marvellous thing about an anemometer. I think I said that right. And so what we've done, we're going to go a little bit crazy here, and so far we're in the build process. So I built two of these, which is quite nice. So a 3D printed bearing housing, and then I pressed that bearing into there, so that's quite nice and smooth. We've already got one sort of semi-assembled there. As you can see, it works quite nicely, spins nicely. We've got two sides there, which we've very aptly called pie wind, and they sit either side. We've got a recess either side to sit the bearing housings into. We decided to use a push-in breadboard. We've got the Adafruit reflective IR sensor, which Mr. Barnett recommended we get. Obviously I've got some more printing to do yet. I've got the rotors to do and the disc. I've come up with a nice idea for the rotors, because obviously that's a fairly hefty shaft I've got on there. It's 8mm threaded rod, so I don't know if it's going to work all right. But what I've done, there's four there. These are Pepsi Max bottoms. So I'm going to use those as my cups, because obviously it's quite tough plastic. So I'm just going to mount those onto the rotors when it's done. So I'm very happy. And what do you say, Joe?
I say this is confusing, but I'm sure it's going to turn out all right.
It's not confusing. Why is it confusing for you?
Because I'm not sure if we're going to use a new pie or use the old one.
Oh no, I've ordered a Pi 0W.
Perfect.
Chris and Joe here. Joe's just messing around on his laptop. He is just setting up the Wi-Fi connection for the Pi Zero, so he's doing very well. And we've got this ready here. We're quite looking forward to it. There's the anemometer. There's some resistors there. I bought a few 610 resistors. Telephone cable, Pi, and there's our breadboard. It's actually wired exactly as per Mr. Barnett's instructions. That then goes to the correct pins on the Pi Zero. So we're really looking forward to cracking on with this. Okay, Joe, explain what we're doing.
So I figured out the a way to get the Raspberry Pi IP address onto the system. So you're not going to be able to log into this because it's in our network, and you need our router's IP address to get to that.
Yeah, that's fine.
So then, I used this thing called ZMap, which is a graphical user interface version of Nmap, a command line utility that allows you to scan your network for IP addresses.
Right.
After multiple tries of trying to get the WPA supplicant file, which sets up the Wi-Fi in this Pi over here, correct, we finally got it worked.
Right, great. So what's the next step, Joe?
The next step is to log in through PuTTY, which is the command line thing, and call FTP LE, which is the thing which allows you to look through the files, and we'll be done.
Great. Okay, well, let's move on. So Joe's just used Core FTP, I believe.
LE edition.
Yeah, LE edition, and he's managed to connect to the Pi. So the next step is to visit Explaining Computers, and we'll look at some code that Mr. Barnett's put on. That's absolutely super. So here we go. Joe's just managed to get in to the Pi, so we've logged onto it now, and there's the interface. He's just going to change the password, so we'll turn this off. Here we go. We're actually really, really excited. So Joe, you're going to run the routine. Here we go. Come on. Oh, it's brilliant. It works. It's alive. It's alive. Here we are. This is a handheld Kestrel anemometer. So let's go for it, Joe. Right, okay, that's 32.4 miles an hour, the wind. Okay, so Joe then now sets the...
Right.
Okay, you ready?
3, 2, 1, go. $29
That's not bad, really, is it? So Joe and I are very happy with our successful test of the Pi Wind. And this is our very first make, which again was inspired by Explaining Computers. But we made our own special Pi weather pod, and we used a BME 680 in there, which measures air quality and everything. And this just lifts off there. All the wiring and pins go up through there. That sits in there nicely. So we're going to come up with a similar case for this one. So, but we're actually really overjoyed with the build, aren't we, Joe?
I just can't stop. I just can't get enough of it. Can't stop talking about it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. And so obviously that's the very nice, neat breadboard. If I can actually focus on it, there we go. Yeah, and it's we're very happy with it. Very, very happy indeed. This gets a 10 out of 10 from Joe and I, does it not?
11 out of 10. It was great fun to build.
You can't have 11 out of 10. It's a mathematical impossibility.
Sorry, Father.
When people say I give 150%, it's stupid. They can only ever give 100%.
Wouldn't it just be 1.5 then?
No, you can only give 100%. You can't give more than that. When people say I'll give it 1,000%, it's a ridiculous statement, Joe.
How dare you?
Anyway, so yes, we're really happy. Yes, we just can't contain our joy at this.